Yo, today I'll teach you how to breathe properly while lifting. A lot of people overlook this, but it could be the reason why you feel stuck on certain lifts, and why you always fail to get that last rep. And just to clarify, I'm only talking about the big lifts. You know, squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, rows, all that. Mainly the compounds, basically. I don't think breathing really matters on isolation movements, as long as you don't forget to breathe, of course. Just breathe normally, and you should be fine. But bracing is very important to prevent injuries, which are the main killer of gains, as you all know. Or I hope you'll know that. I mean, if you can't train because you got injured, then you're obviously f***ed. There's no way around it. And if you don't brace, eventually you'll snap your back on squats or deadlifts, or you'll get injured on any movement that requires bracing. So basically all compound movements. The movements that train multiple muscle groups. And that are for the most part more challenging and more fatiguing for you. And on some isolation as well. So on things like heavy barbell curls you do need to brace. Now that you understand why it's so important, I'm gonna tell you how to do it. And it's this whole debate, many people get it wrong. Some say to breathe out before lifting, some say to breathe out during the concentric, some say to don't breathe at all, some say to flex to your abs. There is a lot of misinformation on this thing. What we want to do is to keep our core tight during the whole movement, so we don't have any fluctuations in our form. And to do that, you just don't breathe while the weight is moving. That will make you much tighter. So forget this whole inhale and exhale bullshit and just don't breathe while the weight is moving. So now you know that, good. But obviously you still need to breathe at some point. And when do you breathe? After every rep, or rather before every rep, you should take a deep breath. And you can breathe through the mouth as well. It doesn't really matter. I know people tell you that mouth breathing is bad and everything like that, and it is bad, but this is a very small time where you're gonna breathe through your mouth. But don't just take a normal breath. Try to breathe through the belly. Like when you breathe, try to push your belly outwards. And when you're doing it, your shoulders shouldn't raise. So breathing through the diaphragm. You know, don't focus on breathing through the lungs, but rather through the belly. A good cue for this is to act like somebody is gonna punch you. And this one is for my fitness influencers, but don't try to act pretty while doing it. Don't flex your abs. I know you like to get a perfect lighting and everything, but don't do it on this. Be like a bear, you know? Like big, try to push your belly outwards, you know? To make yourself look bigger, I know what I mean. Don't do no vacuum when lifting, you're not posing. This is the Valsalva maneuver. So after you take this deep breath, you're not gonna breathe anymore. Let's say you're squatting, right? So you're taking this deep breath, like I said, pushing the belly outwards. And then you go down while you're not breathing, you go up while you're not breathing, and then at the top of the movement you breathe again, when you finish the rep. And then you repeat, you brace again, and you go again. And you'll do that till the set finishes. If you have trouble doing this Valsalva maneuver, you could try some drills. One drill in particular that you could do is to put your hands on the sides of your belly and then try to breathe in and try to push the belly outwards. I'll show some videos on the screen. And you could do that a few times every day until you get it. And then it should be like second nature on every compound movement. But like I said, I don't think that there is any reason for you to do this on isolation movements. Just breathe normally. However, know this, that if you have some heart problems or some lung problems, this may not be good for you. But overall, you should definitely do it. Otherwise, you'll get injured. It's bound to happen at some point. So to recap the benefits of doing this, you lift way more weight, especially on things like the bench press where you'll need to be super tight, right? So you can focus all your force into the bench press. But you'll also have a way lower risk of getting injured. Of course, there's always gonna be a risk, but you know, we always try to minimize that as much as possible. And even if this is a more powerlifting type of thing, I do still think that everybody should still do it. Like the bodybuilding exhale, inhale just doesn't work, doesn't make sense. So yeah, this is good even for hypertrophy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll see you next time.